Peace is what is left. It's what's left when you stop running, when you stop chasing, when you stop being distracted, when you are left with yourself, with your true self. It's what fills the silence when you no longer have anything to prove to anyone. And most people, this is a reality and this is a fact, and it could be even a sad truth. Most people will never get there. That is sad. Most people will never find their peace because they're too busy trying to fix it. They're too busy trying to fix what was never broken. They're too distracted to hear what spirit has been whispering to them all along. You are already enough. You are already great. You were born to be great. You were born to win. You see, the real work of peace isn't adding more, isn't getting more, isn't achieving more. It's releasing what no longer aligns with your truth. It's letting go of people, habits, expectations, even the old version of yourself, the version of yourself that no longer belongs to your higher becoming. The conduit and the pathway is stillness. You have to return to stillness. Inner peace begins when you decide to make stillness sacred again. It matters again. To sit in silence is not punishment, but it's presence. To listen, not to reply, but simply to receive. When was the last time you allowed yourself to be fully silent and fully still, fully in the moment? No phones, no notifications, no audience, just you and your spirit. That's where alignment begins. Because spirit speaks, but it doesn't speak loud. Spirit whispers. And if your life is too loud, for certain, you'll miss it. You'll miss your message. When you slow down, you begin to hear it again. That's guidance. That quiet knowing. That inner, gentle, inner yes. That doesn't shout, but just whisper. It simply is. It simply is present. And it's going to bring us to a point where it's now going to start healing our restless mind. A restless mind that at some point in time we all wrestle with. The human mind loves motion. It's addicted to doing, to fixing, to planning, to managing, to controlling. That's just the way our mind works. But peace asks you to surrender control and trust a deeper order. And when it comes to the spirit, when it comes to the mind, that's not always easy. That's just the fact of the matter. That's not always easy because control feels safe. It gives us the illusion that we are doing something, that we are managing our life. But the truth is, peace requires faith. It requires something higher, something greater, something that's actually beyond our doing and our control. Faith that you can still be still and still be taken care of. That's an invitation from the Spirit. Be still and know that all will be well. Right there is one of the essence of faith. When your mind begins to wander into anxiety, When you feel that you need to rush or to prove or to perform, pause. Take that moment for yourself. Breathe. Sit still and ask yourself, what would peace do right now? Ask your soul, ask your consciousness. And then take an extra moment and listen to the response. Because peace will always choose trust over fear, presence over performance, faith over frenzy. Peace is not necessarily something that you achieve. Peace is something that you have to surrender to. Finding inner peace isn't about escaping the world. We live in the world. It's about moving through it from a grounded place. It's not passive, but in fact, it's powerful. Surrender doesn't mean weakness. It means releasing the illusion that you ever needed to force life into being. You don't have to force life into being. You are being. You are becoming. In fact, when you start to exercise your faith, you're going to truly achieve that inner peace, because you're going to see that it's going to be easier to be quiet, to be still, to not be overwhelmed, to not feel all that anxiety and pressure that the world puts on us. The universe, spirits, the divine, whatever you want to call it, whatever you speak to, know exactly what belongs to you and exactly when it should arrive. It's divine. We just have to exercise our faith and trust the process. Because when you align yourself with peace, you stop chasing timing and start trusting timing. You stop fighting for control and start flowing with your purpose. And when you find that point where you can surrender, you actually rediscover yourself. The self that was never lost, only buried under layers of activities, trying and striving. You were always there. So let's have a reflective moment and pause for a moment. Right now, take a slow, deep breath. Ask yourself, out loud or in your consciousness, where in my life am I fighting what was meant to flow to me? Where am I holding on too tightly, afraid to trust the Spirit's plan? And what would happen if I just today, if I just release control and allow it to be? You don't have to answer those questions now. Let the Spirit answer those questions. Just take time with them. Because the most important thing is to ask the right questions. Once you start asking the right questions, believe you me, you'll start getting out the right answers. The answers are going to come to you, and it's going to flow to you. You see, peace doesn't come when life is finally calm and finally everything finally settles. It comes when you're ready. The storm may not stop, but you learn to become calm within the storm. You learn to stand in the same chaos that once broke you. And this time around, you won't even flinch. Because you have learned the secret. It shouldn't be a secret. That peace is inside of you. When we are working towards that peace, that inner peace, we are simply becoming who we were meant to be. And on that road, we are becoming present in the moment. When you live from peace, you start moving differently. You speak a little slower. You respond instead of reacting. You love without fear. You trust without evidence. You begin to glow from the place that cannot be touched by circumstances. That's the spirit moving around you. But more importantly, that's the spirit moving through you. That's, is simply put, that's alignment. When your inner world and your outer world start to converge, begins to match. Because peace isn't meant to be a feeling that visits you occasionally. It's meant to become your foundation, the place from which you live, you love, and you lead. And it begins to be a part of you. And it begins with a decision. One simple decision. Say to yourself, today, I choose peace. Not because life is easy, but because I deserve peace and I deserve to be whole. So here's some affirmation. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are simply being called home, back to your true self, to peace, to truth, to true alignment. And as you move into the next part of your journey, I want you to remember that the Spirit creates peace, and that peace lives within you. And it's not something that you have to run and find and fix and gather and reach for. It is here, simply waiting for you to remember it and to tap into it. So what I say to you is let that journey begin. Allow it to begin. Let it happen. This is the hour of power and purpose. I am D.E. Wilder, and I am living life with power, passion, personal growth, and most of all, with purpose. Let us take this moment to give thanks for all things, especially the small things. Let's celebrate the everyday blessings and the beauty that life has in store for us, the beauty that constantly surrounds us. Let's make an effort to celebrate that constant beauty and quiet miracles. And those quiet miracles that makes life so uniquely precious. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me again with my sessions, of my family, my friends, and my fraternal souls. This is going to be a powerful one. Peace is not something we find. It's something we remember. As with you being born to win, and you being born with greatness, and you don't have to seek it, simply just have to tap into it and remember who you are. It's the quiet voice that's been whispering inside of us since before the noise began. Before the rush, before the striving, before the comparison, there was peace. And now your soul wants you to come home to that peace again. You know, that's the way our mind works, and that's the way our conscience works. Our mind and our conscience is always craving to bring us back to where we're supposed to be. It's always craving to bring us back to a center. And it's often us who are straying and trying to do different things. And this is why you have to listen to that inner voice. Listen to your soul system. Because it won't, I tell you, it will not steer you wrong. So, you have to be mindful of all of those things. So, right here, right now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just take a moment to breathe and release. Release the tension. Soften your shoulders. And take that moment to breathe. To let it in and let it out. Because it's not just another day. This is a moment of alignment. Because we are moving towards our destiny. We're going to have a sacred return to who we truly are. Beneath the layers of doing and proving and surviving, we're much greater than that. This is going to be another step in our awakening. There comes a moment in every life when the soul begins to whisper. It whispers things like, this can't be all there is. This can't be all there is for my life. You might be successful by every measure, by every standard that the world recognizes. It might even look whole on the outside, but something in the inside still feels restless, uneasy, disconnected, unsettled. That's your spirit calling for your alignment. It's saying, bring it in, come back home. You drifted too far from your own center. Because peace isn't found in the perfect job or in the perfect relationship or the next goal that you are setting for yourself. Peace is found when you stop chasing what was never meant for you to chase. Stop chasing what was never meant to be the thing that completes you. Peace is found when you stop chasing and you start being. You have to start listening to the still and the sacredness in that inner voice. Because that sacred rhythm that already lives within you is constantly speaking to you. And when you're distracted and when you're constantly busy, oftentimes you don't hear it. You can't hear it. It's too much noise, too much distractions. So you got to get still. You got to get quiet. You got to get in a peaceful place. The noise of the world is robust. The noise is loud. It tells us that success equals peace, that money equals worth, that attention equals love. But peace, true inner peace, is not earned. So as we continue, this is finding inner peace, aligning your life and your spirit. Whew. This is a good one. Because at the point that we got to this inner peace, that means we have done a lot of work. That means we have done a lot of work and covered a lot to get to this point of finding inner peace, choosing joy, identifying that you were born to win. Those are all sessions that led us to this point. Peace is not a place you visit. It's a rhythm that you live by. It's actually when your life and your choices and your relationships all start to come together. You don't have to think about it. You're not trying anymore. You're not trying to impress anybody. You're not trying to get anyone's approval. Now it all falls in alignment together. Your relationships and your thoughts begin to move in the same rhythm. That your spirit begins to flow through everything you do, everything you touch. Let's get into the moment of peace by way stillness. We have to find that stillness and that peaceful place. Because peace without action becomes passivity. And your spirit without direction becomes simply noise. To live in alignment is to walk your talk. To move with integrity, clarity, and sacred intentions. Tap it into your inner living compass. When you live aligned with your spirit, your life becomes guided, not driven. Guided by the quiet knowing inside that says things to you constantly. This is right. This is true. This is peace. Because spirit will never shout. It will never argue. It will simply become still when something isn't aligned. You'll feel that tightening in your gut, that pause in your chest. That is your guidance system. Peace will always leave you where you need to be. And anytime you are moving and walking against your truth, your spirit will start to bring you back center. And it will not serve as punishment, but it's simply direction, and in some case, redirection. You see, the spirit corrects through discomfort. And when something feels off, especially when it feels off repeatedly, that is not rejection. That is your beacon of redirection. Authenticity as alignment. When you are truly aligned with your spirit, you stop performing. You stop trying to be who people expect you to be. And you start becoming who your soul needs you to be. And it speaks to you. It's saying, I'd rather lose approval than lose myself. It's walking. It's walking with you. If you're walking into a room where you no longer have to shrink yourself and shrink your truth to fit in. Because peace cannot exist in pretense. Spirits cannot dwell where you are not real or truthful with yourself or pretending to be. The moment you start being honest, you start to feel uncomfortable. But you got to be honest with yourself. Because at that point, you will begin to experience something that we are all searching for, looking for, and living for. And that's freedom. And freedom is the twin to peace. They go hand in hand. They live together. You can't truly have one without the other. So, what is the discipline of peace? People think peace is soft, that is quiet, that is slow, that is passive. But living in peace takes strength. It takes discipline to choose calm over chaos, to walk away instead of engaging into something, to stay grounded when everything around you is shaking and moving and full of noise. Peace is not for the weak. Peace is for the evolved. It's for the ones who have lasted the test of time. It's for the ones who have tasted war within themselves and said something very simple. Not anymore. Never again. You have to reject it. You can't accept that. Because every time you choose peace, you are choosing alignment. Every time you protect your alignment, you are honoring your spirit. It all works together. So you have to set boundaries for your sacred spaces. This is part of your alignment. It is learning that not everything deserves access to your peace. You can love people and still say, not here, not now, or simply no. You can forgive people and still walk away or keep your distance. You can wish them well and still protect your space, your sacred space. That's important. Peace is not about avoiding conflict. It's about choosing clarity. Because oftentimes the peace that I'm talking about is not a peace in the day. Oh, I had a nice day. It was nice and quiet and no one bothered me. That's not what we're talking about. That is not the peace we're talking about. We're talking about the peace within you, within your spirit. That's why this is called finding inner peace. It's about choosing clarity. Because when you know who you are, you stop negotiating your worth. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates that allow love to flow through in both directions, both ways. Without confusion, without chaos, without distortion. Every no you speak from peace is a sacred act of self-love. And that self-love would allow you to be walking in daily alignment. To align your life with your spirit, you must make peace daily. A daily practice. Not an idea. Not something you're saying. Not a ritual. Not a concept. But action. Actual act. That means begin your day with stillness before the noise of the world even begins. Listen to your energy more than you listen to and look at and follow the calendar. Speak the words that build you up, not break you down. Give without attachments. And let gratitude become your default vibration. Because the way in which you start your day, it shapes your alignment for the rest of the day, whether you know it or not. It sets the tone for that day. Peace is not something that you find at the end of the day. It's something that carries into the day at the very starting point. So don't fight. Receive. Release the resistance. Every time you resist what spirits is trying to change within you, you simply delay your own peace. We often resist because we fear loss. We fear that what's going to happen if I let go and let go of control. But sometimes spirits removes people and plans, not to punish us or to set us back, but in fact to prepare us. Because when doors closes, it's not rejection. Oftentimes it's protection. Because everything that it truly belongs to you, every relationship, every opportunity, every season will come with ease. Not with the chaos, not with the noise, not with the anxieties that's building up. It will simply belong to you. Peace is the confirmation of alignment. And here's a little test. Think about this. If it's something, if it's something that costs you your peace, I don't really care what it is. You know, we all have hopes and dreams and aspirations. There's things that we want, things that's in our heart and our spirit that I really want that. I really want to do that. I really want to be that, whatever. But I'm going to say this. Whatever it is, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Simply put. The prize of life is peace unto itself. Living from the spirit and not from survival. Many people live in survival mode, always fighting, proving, defending, reacting. But alignment asks you to live in the spirit, a place of knowing, of being, exercising your faith. You stop asking things like, what if it doesn't work out? And you start saying things like, if it's not for me, if it's not in divine order, I'm not missing anything. That's faith in action. That comfort, that quietness, that peace, that confidence is faith in action. That is alignment. Because when you live from the Spirit, you stop needing to know every single detail. You don't have to know. You just have to trust the direction. You stop chasing peace. Because when you're in alignment, you are peace. You stop searching for the answer because, simply put, you are the answer. So, let's take one more of these reflective moments. Breathe in, let it out. Because we're gonna examine the mirror of peace. Take this moment to ask yourself, does my current life reflect my peace? Or does it reflect my pressure? Am I making choices from fear or from faith? Am I living from appearance or am I living from alignment? You don't have to answer those questions. Just allow them to penetrate your consciousness and think about it. Because peace will always tell you the truth, whether you like the answer or not. You can't fake energy. You can't fake, you can't pretend. Your spirit knows. When your outer world is no longer reflecting your inner peace, it's time to realign. Don't be afraid to take a moment to pause, to reset, to begin again. There's nothing wrong with that. Peace is patient. It will always wait for you to come back home. It won't forget you. It won't leave without you. It's simply waiting for you. The power of being still in action. Find it, alignment. Alignment doesn't mean inactivity. It means living intentionally. You still move, you still build, you still dream. But now, everything is spirit-led. Now, your effort flows instead of it being a fight. You move from inspiration, not insecurities. From vision, not from validation. And because your foundation is peace, you don't crumble when things take time. If it's something really worth building, if you're going to build a structure that is going to stand the test of time, I assure you it's going to take time. And deep down inside of you, you will know. You will know. What is yours will find you because it's tied to your spirit, not to all those other things, not to the stress, but to your spirit. As we find alignment, we ourselves becomes the instrument of peace. When you are aligned with the spirit, peace doesn't just live in you. It begins to radiate through you. You walk into a room and people feel calmer. You speak and hearts loosen and unclench. You live and others are reminded that it's okay to slow down. That's the gift of living in peace. You become the evidence that alignment is possible. The world needs that right now, truly, now more than ever. It needs your calm in the chaos, your love without conditions, your clarity without judgment. You don't have to preach peace to others. You simply just have to be peace for others. Peace is not something that you chase. It's something you become. Alignment is not about perfection. It's simply about presence. And the spirit that brought you this far is not done with you yet. So today and every day forward, walk softly, breathe deeply, and live truthfully. Let peace be your posture. Let the spirit be your compass. Let your life become your prayer. Because when you are aligned with peace, you don't just survive life. You live it. You embody it. You become it. You become peace. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remind them that they too can find their inner peace. And that they too, on a daily basis, can be peace. My sincerest intentions is that the positive energy and unwavering dedication I aim to project through both my actions and my contribution resonate deeply with each and every person who hears my voice. My hopes is for our sheer spirit to serve as an uplifting catalyst for our individual growth, to inspire a collaborative breakthrough, and ultimately to foster a collective success and the positive impact. A positive impact that we are all seeking in our life journey. Therefore, stay rooted, stay blessed, and stay living life with purpose. I am D.E. Wilder, and this is the Hour of Power and Purpose. And I bid each and every one of you peace and blessings.